So here we have the Wingman Converter SD for your Sega Dreamcast, a product I've been after for quite a while, as I do love playing my Sega Dreamcast, and thanks to a retail company called Shop Happily, they've actually sent me a review unit. So this product is actually claiming that you can provide wireless controller connectivity to your Dreamcast, so you can actually connect things like the PlayStation 4, Xbox One controllers, and the Switch controllers, and many more accessories. So let's give this box an open and see what we get all together. And here we have, you can see the build is quite nice. At the bottom there you've got a QR code. This will actually send you to their website, providing you their online manual, as it doesn't provide one. And of course with Brooks we get these stickers. I do love getting these little things. That little touch does add a little bit more when purchasing the goods. So let's have a deeper look now into what this accessory looks like. So it's all made in plastic. It's pretty well built, I have to say. At the front we've got a USB connection for your controllers, and then next to that we've got the micro connector, so then you would plug that into your PC for updates. Here's a quick look at the back, and you've got a clicky button at the front. That's all it is. It's nice, well built, and you've got the light indicator at the top, and you've got these two connectors, one for your Sega Saturn and one for the Dreamcast. But for this video we're going to be looking into the Dreamcast console alone. Now once receiving your product, the first thing I do recommend totally doing is heading to their website, which you will find the link in the description box below, and download their latest firmware updater program. So you got to click and now see which OS that you got. I'm running on PC, so click that and this will download in the WinRAR or WinZip file. So there's the files that are needed, so I'm going to drag that into its own folder, and this is the program. So double click the exe file, and this is what the program looks like, the firmware updater. Now when you double click this, it needs to connect to their servers, so give it a bit of a wait, and you can then see some files are downloaded straight into the same folder. So now I've got my actual Brooks Wingman's SD. I'm going to put my micro USB in that connectivity at the front, and now I'm going to put in the USB. So it's indicated now that the software is ready, but when you plug in your USB, you want to make sure you're holding down that button before you plug it in, and it recognizes it straight away. And as you can see, the update is basically done. There we are. So you need to make sure you got this updated, because any wireless controllers will not work without this update. So now we got that all ready. Let's connect this now to the front of the console, and it does fit pretty nicely. It's not stiff, it's not awkward, it does slide in pretty nicely. So now we're going to hook up the PlayStation 4 controller. One thing I've been really wanting out with my Dreamcast is wireless connectivity. So it is stated you don't want to press that button, you just want to connect your USB to the controller. And let's have a look at it now to see how it runs with the USB connected. So we got the people's favourite, Marvel's vs Capcom. And as you can see, it works straight away, just plug and play, and I'm very impressed with how simple that was. So I've had my Dreamcast for many years, and finally we've got our hands on a wireless adapter. But obviously we've got things connected USB, and I can see from this way there is actually no input lag that I can actually notice at all compared to the original controllers. So now let's head over to what you can do with the wireless mode. So you should simply just unplug the micro cable, so it hasn't connected it. So we want to just press the PlayStation button just to turn it on. And there we have it. The light is straight on and it's connected in wireless mode. And again, I did not notice any input lag at all with the wireless mode using the PlayStation 4 controller. So now let's hook up the PlayStation 3 controller. I got my glossy white to match my console, so it kind of matches the Dreamcast a bit better than the PlayStation 4. So we're going to hook this up to the USB mode straight away. And I can see now the D-pad and everything is working pretty nicely with the PlayStation 3 controller, much like the PlayStation 4. It is pretty weird using a PlayStation controller here on the Dreamcast, because obviously I've played the Dreamcast for many years. But now let's get this into wireless. Just unplug that and press the PS button, and we are good to go. So again, I didn't notice any latency, but I did find that there was a bit of a drift, as the actual ship on this game was kind of drifting left hand side with the PlayStation 3, but that's the only problem I've come across. But yet when I resync it again, the actual problem was eliminated. But with the Xbox 360 controller, I found that I was unable to connect wirelessly by trying to sync it with the button on the adapter and then pressing the sync button on the Xbox 360 controller. But to actually get around this, if you remember those Microsoft USB 360 adapters, I plugged that into the front, and then my 360 controllers and peripherals were connecting just fine. So now let's hook up a Xbox One wired controller. This is a third party one, which I do like to use, and I just plugged it in straight to the USB and everything was working again. Pretty awesome. And when it comes to the actual button mapping, you will find it's just the same layer as the Dreamcast, but the L and R one are the same as the L and R triggers again on the Dreamcast controller. So there actually are 4 buttons for your triggers on the top of the controller. Now to actually sync the Xbox One controller itself, I did connect that straight away to the USB, and it did not like that, and I tried it a couple of times. But then when I used the actual wireless sync mode, it did take a while, and then bam, we actually are connected. Now this is one I've actually been really looking forward to, because this is how I like to personally set up my wireless controller for my Dreamcast to get the best setup to my personal taste, as because the buttons are on the right hand side, therefore it is on the right hand side on the Dreamcast controller, so it does actually match pretty well, and adapting it is pretty sweet. Now when it comes to vibration function, I'll just show you in a quick example now that the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One and the wired and the PlayStation 3 are all actually featuring rumble. Now the last controller I want to show you guys in this quick review video, and it did actually surprise me quite a bit, is the official Sega licensed 8-bit DOE Sega Saturn wireless controller. And this is one of my favourite ways to play my 2D based games. That's all I had to do was plug in the USB and hit the sync button on the adapter and then press start. And there we have it. We've got this actual compatible with this wireless adapter as well. So this is going to be my favourite ways of playing those 2D games now on my Sega Dreamcast. So there we have it, the Wingman SD converter for the Sega Dreamcast provided by Brooks, and thanks again for Shop Happily for sending me this review unit. Now finally can actually get some wireless controllers for perhaps one of my favourite consoles of all time. Very happy with this product and I do recommend it myself, and you'll find a purchase link in the description box below. So as always guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this content, hit that like. If you want to support the channel, click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I catch you guys on the next video.